All right, imagine this for a second. You're working at this cool online company. You grab your morning coffee, and your boss comes over, looking, well, a little worried. Now that is a classic business mystery. And honestly, it's the perfect job for a data scientist. See, this isn't just about crunching numbers. It's about finding the story, the hidden clues in the data, to solve a huge problem before it spirals out of control.
So let's do this. For the next few minutes, you and we're going to be data detectives. Our one and only mission? To crack the case of the vanishing customers.
And we're not just going to wing it. We're going to use a proven 5-step framework that turns a kind of vague problem like this into a real, concrete solution that actually helps the business. Let's get into it.
Okay, first things first. Every single great investigation doesn't start with the evidence. Nope, it starts with asking the right question. If you get this step wrong, honestly, the whole project can just fall flat.
So here it is, our 5-step game plan. First, we define the problem. Then, we go out and collect the data. After that, we clean it up and explore what we've got. Step 4 is building a model to predict the future. And finally, and this is crucial, we deploy it and communicate our findings.
This first step is all about getting super specific. We're not just asking, hey, why are people leaving? That's too broad. We're zeroing in on a predictive question. Can we pinpoint the customers who are most likely to leave us? Having a clear goal like this gives the entire project a North Star.
And why does this matter so much? Well, check this out. It costs an absolute fortune to get a new customer in the door, sometimes 5, even 10 times more than just keeping an existing one happy. So our mission isn't just some fun data puzzle. It directly impacts the company's bottom line, big time.
All right, with our mission locked in, it is time to gather the evidence. This is where we start rolling up our sleeves and digging through all the data, looking for those first juicy clues.
You know, every little piece of data is a potential clue in our investigation. We pull in everything we can get our hands on. Their entire purchase history, how often they're on the website, basic info about them, and this is a big one, their interactions with customer support. Did they complain recently? How much do they usually spend? Each little data point helps us build a more complete picture.
But let me tell you a little secret from the world of data science. Raw data is always a mess. I mean, it is just full of missing entries, weird formatting, duplicates, you name it. A massive part of the job, maybe even the biggest part, is just cleaning all this up so we can make any sense of it.
But then, once you get through all that cleaning, that's when the magic starts to happen. We can finally explore the data. This is where we start asking it questions, looking for those behaviors that separate the happy customers from the ones who are about to walk out the door.
And bam, almost right away, a huge pattern just jumps out. Take a look. Customers who've had 2 or more complaints, their risk of leaving absolutely skyrockets. This is our first major clue. It's a massive flashing sign that tells us poor service experiences are a huge reason people are leaving.
So, now that we've found these patterns, we can use them to build our prediction machine. This is the modeling phase, where we're basically creating a data-driven crystal ball to see into the future of our customer relationships. It's pretty cool.
And we've got a few different tools for the job. We could use something called logistic regression, which is awesome for a simple yes or no answer. Are they going to churn or not? Or we could use a decision tree, which is more like a flowchart of if-then rules. You know, like if a customer has more than 2 complaints and hasn't bought anything in 90 days, then they are a high risk.
So what the model does is it takes all our clues, all those data points we gathered, and for each customer, it spits out one single powerful number, a probability score. So it might tell us, hey, this specific person has an 80% chance of leaving in the next 30 days. Now that is something we can act on. We know exactly who needs our attention. But listen, a prediction is totally useless if it just sits on a dashboard somewhere. The final step, and you could argue it's the most important one, is turning that insight into real-world action. This is where the rubber meets the road.
So here's how it works in a real company. Our model automatically flags a customer with a high churn score. That immediately triggers an alert in the system, which pings the marketing team. The team then jumps into action and does something proactive, like sending a personalized discount to try and win that customer back. This is where data science stops being theory and starts literally saving the business money.
And a huge part of this is communication. We don't just walk into the boss's office with a bunch of complicated charts. We tell a story. We say, look, based on the data, here are the top 3 reasons we're losing people. But more importantly, here's a clear plan to actually fix it. So let's just quickly retrace our steps. We started with this vague, kind of scary business problem. But by asking the right question, gathering our evidence, finding those hidden patterns, and building a predictive model, we created a system that actively helps solve the problem.
At the end of the day, we took this chaotic mess of clicks and orders and complaints, and we turned it into a smart system that takes real action to save valuable customers. And that right there is the true power and, I think, the real magic of data science.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Whether it's in your job, your studies, or even just your everyday life, what hidden patterns are just waiting to be uncovered in your world? I would love to hear your ideas, so go ahead and drop a comment below.